G'day, how you going? I'm Ian Applish, your acrylic guru from Australia. Welcome to my channel. Here, I like to show you that you can do it, showing you beginners and advanced beginners what you can paint in acrylic. That's the size of my canvas there. And I'm also going to get some colours running up the screen that I'm going to use in this tutorial. Don't be too intimidated if you don't have the same colours as me, just use something similar, and as you progress you can get the exact same colours that me and other tutorialists show you what you can use. Okay, let's get right into it. Now I have my canvas on a portrait layout standing upright, and I want to start with our sky area. So the best way to do that, I'm going to use some soft bodied acrylic white, titanium white paint. It's just a soft bodied stuff in a big bottle, and I want to add some of it with retarder there. That retarder will slow down the drying time of that, and I just simply want to grab my yellow, put it on a brush, mix that puddle of retarder with some of this paint. So I want my horizon line about there, so I'm going to crisscross this into the sky. Now you work out what colour sky you want. I'm going to do a nice sunsetty, mauve, purpley, yellowy kind of sky here. See how it turns out. All right, I've put that on there. Pretty easy. Stroke it left and right so you get a nice, even, thin film of that craft paint and the retarder mixed together. You don't want it too thick. And we're ready to incorporate our sky colours onto there. So I'm going to have some yellow down the bottom. I've got Australian sienna, and I've got some violet, brilliant violet there, and some purple dioxine, or dioxine purple. So I've got some magenta down on the palette. I'm going to start with my Australian sienna. This is like, if you can't find this, get an Indian yellow. I want to start at the bottom, and I want to bring this sky up from the yellow to the purple to the deeper purple, up that way. So what I'll do, I'll simply start at the horizon line with this and start bringing it up just like so. Get back down to the bottom. Now I just want to feather that into the white. Just go into the tip of my putter on a brush, and I'm just simply softening that down into that white there. Come all the way here. So we get this magenta on there. Now I'm coming about here. I want this to slice into that yellow, just like so. Coming around it, slicing into that yellow. Just like that. Get a bit more on my brush and get bits and bobs of it up here. Okay, slicing into that yellow. You can even do stuff like that. It adds dimension and length and distance in your skies like that. But we're going to add some clouds in this later. So now I want to just simply use the tip of this brush and soften that into the yellow there. Or you can even grab a blending brush. Got a brand new one out of the packet here, so I'm just going to blend that into the yellow. Look at that, it's like airbrushing really, isn't it? Get those lines in there. Now don't forget, like I said, I'm going to add some clouds into this, so don't be too pedantic. Watch the whole video so you know exactly what was in my mind and what I was going for in this painting. I've cleaned my putter on a brush again, and I'm grabbing some dioxine purple. And I just want to start in the top corners, come across the top of the sky. Okay, it's getting a bit lighter, and then I'm going to start bringing it down to the magenta and slicing it into the magenta. Crisscross strokes, Infinity X strokes, and get that into that colour there. It's a beautiful looking painting, I think, when it's finished. And I want to just blend and smoothen that into the magenta as well now, just to get rid of some of those ugly brush strokes. All right, it's nice and dark in that corner there. Now down here I'm grabbing my titanium white. I'll grab a hog bristle fan brush. I'll start at the bottom first in the yellow colour, then I'll clean and transfer into the other colours as I go. So from about here I want some glare, about there, so I'm just going to put this on and then transfer that up there, spider legging it out, finger legging it like it's kind of got that kind of vibe going to it. There we go. And that's going to add a lot of glare in that area because there's going to be a tree here. So what I'm doing is sitting that down, and then I'll probably have to go and do another pass just to get more glare there, because it's not quite bright as I'd like it to be. Right there. There we go. And then I'm going to start making maybe a cloud up here, some kind of cloud formation, and maybe see how that's purple. Don't go from one colour to another. That's what'll happen. So now I'm just going to get this glare back out again. There we go. Nice yellow glare. Get that pushed along there. Beautiful. Wipe my brush and create this kind of cloud. I'm not going for realism in this painting. I'm just going for colours and subject and wowness and, oh, that looks nice kind of situation, you know. So that's looking good there. Before I get too carried away, I've grabbed myself a pouncer. I'll grab some of this here, just get it into my pouncer there. Now I don't want a full moon, I just want some kind of, I'll stamp it on first and then, oh there we go, that's me moon I'm stuck with. So now I'm going to just twist it. I've got the 1 o'clock corner just pressing against the canvas there, and down to 3 a bit. There we go, up to 12 a bit. That's all I want for the moon, that is all I want. It is round, you just saw the distortion from the angle of the camera. Now with the white, we've done that first layer. I want to put some cloud in front of that moon there. So I'm going to do this, get my cloud, just come in front of it a bit, like so. There we go, something like that. Got not too much dirt on my brush, and I might put something about here as well. And just sit this down not so deeply into the colours, just leaving the luster of that there. So I'll get this blended in a way. Oh yeah, I'm happy with that. Pretty busy sky this one, but you can do a realistic sky if you want. I just wanted some kind of fantasy looking sky here. And go like that, make a kind of a porthole with our clouds, and then just blend this back into the sky, leaving the left hand side of it quite harsh. There we go. We'll come here, down. Well, don't forget there's going to be a tree there, Ian. So I'll just come here and a bit here. That'll do. So I'm going to have a tree there. I'll get carried away and forget what I'm doing. So I want to bring just that down now. And over here, bring that back into our sky. I'm not liking this, so what I will do is I will just neaten that up, because to me, after analysing it, it looks a bit iffity-affity. I don't know. Get a nice big, see how big body, and pointing it right into the middle of the painting there as well. That'll do. I'll pull the bottom down, tickle the tops. Now, if it's your first time here, give me a comment, just say hello. Even saying hello, even if you're a regular viewer, helps the algorithm of my YouTube channel. And tell me how you met me if it's the first time here. I'm going to grab my finger, and this side of the moon, I'm just going to try and soften that away. Just like so. There we go, it was a bit too hard there. And a little bit of white paint. This is just a little bit of fixing up here, and just put some yumminess back in front of that cloud, in front of our moon there. There we go. Got some yumminess here. I'm just kind of adding bits where I feel it needs it. paint's gone a little bit rubbery and dry, which is good. I'm not going to pick up my blending brush and blend this. I'm just going to leave it. Yeah. Okay, back to the palette. I'm picking up the craft paint again. Now this bit here doesn't have the retarder in it. You don't need this. I just want to prime the bottom half of the painting. Get this all across the bottom. Just to your sky colour there. You don't have to blend it into it because we're going to have landmass in between there. So I want this pushed on, and I want to quickly do a lake under here so we can sync it back with all the foregrounds and midgrounds. So I've pushed that down with the tip of my brush again. I'm just going to wipe that with the rag. I don't have to go and wash it. Pick up me turquoise. So I want a lake coming about here. So I'm just going to come, what I'll do is I'll stamp it on where I want my lake. This is where I want my lake. Straight across. There. And we can make this as dark, so we'll see how dark that is, or as light as you want. There we go, there's my lake. Now I'm going to simply wipe that brush and just pull that right across. There we go. Now I want to stop, look and analyse it. I feel I want a bit of darkness just about here somewhere, so I'll just simply stamp that on about there like that. Wipe the brush again and just gingerly pull that darkness through, and that's it. We've got a slight bit of darkness in our water. Now I'm just grabbing some more titanium white on my fan brush while that water's still wet. And why I said watch the video a couple of times so you know what I'm doing, you'll know why I'm doing what I'm doing now. So I'm going to have land coming about here, but I want some glare from the sky sort of, so what I want to do is kind of just sit that in the water there like so. And we've got a bit of a moon there. Whether we're going to see all of that or not, I don't know. Grab a little bit more, and I just want some brighter bits under the landmass as well. That'll do. Now I'm going to grab my putter on a brush. Those ones I want to pull down. Just like that, but pull this one down as well. There we go. And I'll pull that one down. I'm going to wipe the brush, and then I'll go left and right softly just to sit it down. I'm grabbing my deer foot. I'm just dampening it so the bristles aren't bone dry, and I want to grab some of the dioxine purple and bring it over here, but I don't want it that bright, so I'm going to just gradually get it to the vibe I want. So I'm just stamping this brush into that paint, and my land's going to come here and about here. So this stuff here, I'm pretty much, see the yellow? I just want to just hit the yellow. Twist your brush as you do this. Now if you've got another brush that'll make wonderful hairy stampy little open brushy marks like this, use that if you don't have a deer foot. I'm only using this brush because it's what I've got. Come right off the painting there. Just look into my monitor there. I'll get some of these that way. They seem to be getting a uniform pattern. I want to distort that pattern that's happening there, and then fill in that white bit there, get a bit more dark of dioxine there, just there we go. Now I'm grabbing my flat and that paint again, but I want more white in it this time because I want to do the snow, but I want it tainted with the dioxine so as I can highlight it properly later. But I need a bit of water with it just to get it transferable so it'll move from the brush onto the canvas with not too much problem. I'm going to get the shoreline done first. So I want to come from about here. That white paint that I put there, that's going to come all the way, let's say, to about here. So what I want to do is bring that to that white paint there. It just was easy to do that before I did this. So I've dried that purple bit. I want this kind of humped up in the middle, coming down and back over here. Okay, now I'll simply just map all this in. I want to show you something with getting a lot of mileage out of the paint on your brush as well. I'll just show you in a minute. Just let me finish dingleberrying this bit here up. I've loaded my brush up, okay? The paint is on the tip to here. What I'm going to do is put it on the canvas, and I'm going to paint, and as I pull the brush, I'm going to slowly tilt it down, and it's going to keep slowly loading the brush from the paint onto the canvas. I'll just show you here. So I'll come from here, and then I'm slowly tilting the brush down all the way flat. Bang, I've used all the paint up. Where if I just kept it at the one bit, see how it's running out so quick? And then you can get another pass. These little things we learn as we go. Just blocking it in till I'm satisfied with the finish. I've given this a slight dry, and I'm grabbing the pure white now, and I want to just lace up mainly the front here, rolling the side of the brush, just getting some white vibe, lighter, brighter vibes of snow on there, just here and there. Just make it up as you go. There we go, that's okay. So I'm going to grab a detailed brush, grab some of that dioxazine purple over here, and I just want to put a little bit of black with it, just a very little bit. So what I want to do now is simply go over that and put bits of rubbish, junk, obviously come forward a bit bigger. Find out how your brush is working for you, and then come along here. See which way you need to hold it. Just some vibes of this stuff, real dirty. There we go, cascading up the hill there. Where else can we go? Probably some... I wouldn't mind putting some extra darker bits right under here out there, just like so. Cascading, because that's a bit light in value out there, so just to fix that up a bit. Take your time when you're doing a painting, there's no rush. And when you know that you can take your time and you relax, and you even stop to put that kettle on, you make some toast or a cup of tea, or you go down the shop and buy a vanilla slice, you know, you're enjoying your journey. The journey is actually in the travelling. It's not the end product of your painting. And then when you finish your painting, you can look at it and go, I remember putting the kettle on. I remember going down the road and grabbing a vanilla slice. I remember sitting in the garden, analysing it while I was having my cup of tea. It was all part of your journey, and that's what you need to do with your art. It makes it more exciting, I feel. There we go. Now, I want to grab this white. I'll start adding this violet colour that I had before in there. It's pretty much the dioxazine purple with a lot of white in it, really, yeah. So I want to get this now and start creating my trees on that mid-ground land. Now I've used my small Deerfoot brush to mix this, but look at all the rubbish on there.
You nearly swore then, Ian.
I know, but I didn't. There we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wash this. Okay, she's all washed now. I want to load it up. So let's put some trees in. I'll start with one here. Now what I'm doing is I'm looking for clashness. See how that's clashing with the ground? I don't like that, so I've got to change the value. So I might grab a little bit of magenta and put into that. And we'll go again. So we're making our trees, it's on that land, there's one there, you can sort of get the vibe of what trees I'm going for. I'll come across. Now those purple ones in the background, I want to be able to see them through these trees, so I'm not destroying all that. Getting some over here, higher, coming down, stop about there. these are just white trees, but to make them stand out, we need the depth underneath them first. I've got black and burnt umber there. I pretty much want black trunks, but I'm not doing them fully black, so that's why I want some of the burnt umber mixed with it. Now work out where your trees are. I've got some nice skinny ones just clumping together right up in the bush there. Just get trunks like this. Get some trunks in the ground at different heights, and that'll show you that some are closer and further apart than others. Just like that. Could make this a thicker one. Now simply grab a small detail brush. You just want to add them to the ground like so. Where are we? Can put a bit more paint on the brush here, and you've taken too much off. And just kind of sit them on the ground here and there. And then we're going to highlight those trees, and that'll sit these trunks within them. Now down here I've got me white. I'm going to start pulling it out here just to highlight those trees, and I want it to be a phthalo blue vibe. That's the vibe I wanted. Where's me trunks? There they are. Trying to get snow vibe trees out here. There we go, there we go. Maybe something here. See, I'm barely touching it, it's very airy. I'm sitting those trunks down, as you can see, up the top. Leave a gap, come down. I will with this colour. I'll just have a look. I don't know if I will or not, but I'll just try and get some of this vibe happening again where I've lost a lot of it. I've got the slightest white now because I don't want to lock it into all there. I'm just getting some highlight on some of this blue there. That'll do. Now I'm grabbing titanium white and I'm going to block in the foreground with the titanium white. This isn't the craft paint. This is this stuff, but it's a flow quality of it. And I want something pretty much along here, coming all the way along here. And they'll probably, let's get this a bit higher, and then this will be just all background there. I'll just push that in there like so, push it there. I'll get all this painted in. I'm picking up a bit of that purpley colour in the white because I just want a vibe of that just here, okay? Now I've got Prussian blue here. That's pretty much the blue I should have done the water in, but not to worry. I want to mix up. I'm going to brush mix the vibe of the tree. So we'll get a darker value of this. So this tree is going to come from about here, and it's going to come up. I want to see this in the background, and it's going to come up to about here. So let's just come off the painting, get it nice and airy, coming around those clouds. I don't want thick solid blobs. I want to be able to see the sky through this to a degree. It's coming right over here too now. It's going to bend right over there. Some bits can be pulled out like that. Now the black and brown that we mixed, more on the black side now, I want to put the trunk in. So I want his trunk from about here, and I'll get it coming up about here somewhere. I'm just using a small dagger brush. Probably have another bit of it coming here. I'm just getting the footprint of it there so far. Probably have some of it scooting up here and bits and bobs of it scooting out there. Now I've done that, I want to make it the thickness that I want. So I want this, you're going to see this bit right here. And these thinner ones, you know, you cross them over and all sorts of bits and bobs. Look at this. I'll just show you what I mean. Get something out there. Get something there. Cross them over all over the place. Look at that. Now I've wiped my brush and I want to grab just the white, but it's also going to be tainted with that Prussian blue. And I want to start putting it on top, coming into the blue, the darker blue, and sitting me trunks down, me sticks and trunks in the middle of them on the outside edge. See how I got no trunk there? Yeah, because you're simply going to put something like this right there. You can see how a lot of these branches are sitting back now. I want to come down here. I want some of it just in front of the trunk as well. Now I'll dry that and add the pure white. Clean me deer foot, and I want to add the flow paint, the flow titanium white, the very soft bodied stuff to me brush. I've dried the canvas, and we'll start up here just getting this stuff coming into the painting, leaving a lot of the darks there. Don't kill all the darks. Now to simply fill in this foreground, I'm going to use the same brush. I've got that Prussian blue and our white again to make up the dark colour here. What I'll do before I do that, I just need to make the shape a bit better over here because it's not quite where I want it. So I wanted to, oh my goodness, where will we go? We'll go about here, we'll go a bit higher up. I'm just going to go a bit higher up from the white, because that white is going to be a bit of a track there. So we've got this right in front there coming along. There we go. And I'll bring it right down here, right down there, and let it blur into that white there. I'm getting a little bit of darker Prussian just at the base of this now, creeping onto that bit there. There we go. Fading into that lighter blue. I'm grabbing white and the hintest of that magenta, not too much. And we're just making these shrubs. Coming into the dark colour there. I'm just grabbing some black, simply adding some black sticks in here. I've got my filbert brush. I'm just trying to break up the monotony of that deer foot because I want to get different shapes of snow hitting this, so I'm kind of getting this vibe pushed in there, and I'll just have a look in my monitor and see how it's looking once I've done a section. I want to bring this bit right in front of that there down here over the dark a bit, in front of the snow, in front of that there a bit. And now I'm just finishing it off with that deer foot here and there. I'll just sign it here, and I want to use this opportunity to thank everyone who supports my YouTube channel as a member, and also my Patreons who support me every month. It's much appreciated. Give me a comment below, and just even if it's just hello. Okay, let's whack a frame on that and see how she looks. Doesn't fit upright too well, but there we go. That's not too shabby. We've got a fantasy snow scene there with a nice lake ready to ice up. And I know you can do it. Well, what a lot of fun that was. Something different, something bright. Be sure to tell your friends if you like what I'm doing, but if you don't like what I'm doing, you tell everybody. Also, check out this other video here of mine. Goodbye, good luck, good on ya.